On both sides. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you right now to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, Fun OTI. Touch 'em up.
And we're back live at the Tupelo, Mississippi concession stand brawl. I'm Jeff, and this is Abe.
What? First of all, have fun on the Indys. And, second of all, what are you talking about?
The Tupelo, Mississippi concession stand brawl.
The concession stand brawl. Jeff, I have a question. The Tupelo, Mississippi concession stand brawl. My question to you is, are you some sort of backyard wrestler?
No, God, for God's sakes, no. The Tupelo, Mississippi concession stand brawl, man. Come on.
A little bit of backstory, please.
All right, so I've only heard about the second one. Apparently Onita was involved in it. It was in Tupelo, Mississippi, in the concession stand. And they just basically threw sodas and everything around each other. I heard about it on the History of FMW from Brett FMW's YouTube channel that we talked about last week.
That's fucking weird, dude. So, my final thoughts on that are, go back to the backyard, you're not professional, and have fun on the Indys.
And
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Have Fun on the Indys. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
And we're here to talk about all things pro wrestling. So, Jeff, to get straight to it, you know what I was reading earlier this week?
Yeah, what?
The WWE was shopping around Monday Night Raw, and they were shopping around SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking for a new TV deal, pretty much.
Contract's about to expire?
Yeah, something along those lines. And I was reading this article, which I'm going to read part of. It's a couple of sentences here, and I'm going to tell you. It says, according to a report by The Hollywood Reporter Wednesday, NBC Universal is looking to bring back WWE Raw at a hefty increase while declining to re-up WWE SmackDown, allowing the company to shop the Tuesday night staple around to other media outlets. So basically, NBC Universal said, we hella want Raw. We want Raw badly. We're willing to overpay for Monday Night Raw. But we don't want SmackDown.
Wow.
Why? Why do you think that is? That's kind of weird.
Wow. Yeah, that's weird. That's I prefer SmackDown over Raw most of the last couple of years since the brand split. I'm not really sure. I know SmackDown's always kind of had trouble finding a stable network, and it being on USA was kind of weird to begin with.
You know why? Because SmackDown has this stigma that it's always the B show.
Yeah.
Even when it's having main event angles and more popular stars, from the beginning of cable television on national television, Raw was always number one.
Yeah, Raw always has been the flagship show.
And it's crazy, man, because NBC Universal is planning on renewing Raw for 3 times the price.
3 times the price?
They said, fuck SmackDown, we'll re-up it Monday Night Raw for 3 times the price.
3 times the price.
Business, dude. Monday Night Raw is a constant ratings hit. Yeah. And that's the thing. Even if every single Raw show is not breaking records, even if every single Raw show is not smashing records, the one thing it does is it's consistent in the ratings.
Yeah.
It gets enough ratings consistently to where it's going to up the average rating for a TV station on that time slot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. It does consistently get ratings.
And that's the reason, and that's one of the reasons why back a long time ago, Ted Turner decided to get into business, because pro wrestling is an inexpensive, well, these days it might be a bit expensive, but for the most part, compared to a lot of other things, it's an inexpensive form of entertainment that brings in a lot of eyeballs, which advertisers can bring in revenue with, which in turn makes the channels money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And it's crazy because who would you think is wanting to buy SmackDown? There's already 3 organizations that are putting their hats in. It might not be serious, I'm not sure at the moment, but there's already 3 organizations that are putting their hat in to try to buy SmackDown.
What is UPN called these days? Because I'm pretty sure they've got to be in that top 3 right there, right?
Remember SmackDown was the UPN thing?
Uh-huh.
Is UPN even a station still?
No, right? After the Viacom merger that caused CW and everything to happen, aren't they a My Network or something?
Oh, that's right,
I'm not
My
sure
Network.
anymore.
No, you're right. It is My Network. Also, so CW. I thought CW wasn't UPN. I thought CW was the WB.
It was WB, but after the Viacom merger, it turned into CW, and SmackDown was on there for a while.
Okay, well, here, I'm going to give you the 3 organizations, pretty big companies, that are trying to buy SmackDown.
So not My Network or whatever?
No, not My Network.
Okay,
and not
okay.
anything at the concession stands in fucking...
Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Bro.
So, company number 1. Currently, they have a contract with the UFC, which the UFC is in the process of going to ESPN now and ESPN Plus.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
So it leaves a big open slot
from
for
Fox?
something like that. So exactly. The first station that's putting their hats in is Fox. How do you think SmackDown will do on Fox?
You know what's weird is I see a lot of videos on YouTube recorded from a Fox station, actually. I'm not sure where either. I'll see the Fox logo.
What are you talking about?
I literally see videos on YouTube of SmackDown that are recorded off of a Fox station. I'm not sure where.
That could be local stations.
It's definitely a local station. I think it's like how CW in our local area is partnered with our local Fox station sort of thing.
So the first one is Fox, which is a big one in my opinion, because obviously Fox reaches a lot of households.
A lot.
Everybody knows what Fox is.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, it's going to depend on what time slot they get put on. It's going to depend how hard the company is going to want to back WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a damn good job with the UFC. They truly did. You know, they helped them out a lot. I would figure with the success that WWE has proven to have throughout the years, I would figure they're going to treat the WWE right. So that's a possibility. The second possibility is Amazon.
What?
Yeah. You know how Amazon has...
on Prime?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so not on network television?
I'm assuming
or television.
There's not a lot of information about it, but I'm assuming it's a streaming service.
That's interesting.
It is interesting, but a lot of companies are going to that streaming service over TV and over pay-per-view these days.
It would have to be off... That's very interesting.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So you would see SmackDown on Amazon, which makes you wonder... how many people are going to watch it? Because you would figure it's on Amazon. It's you at your will can watch it anytime you want. However, I don't know how the mainstream audience is going to transition to go watch it on Amazon when they can watch it on television.
Yeah, really.
It seems like WWE's, even though they thrive off their WWE Network, which is an online service, it seems like a lot of their success is still based on the fact that they're on national television.
They do forget they do have a lot of older audience fan base that still watches wrestling on television as they did 20, 30 years ago.
And especially, like I said, we don't know what, if they were on Amazon, we don't know what the plan is, but especially if I have to pay monthly to get Amazon Prime so that I can be able to watch SmackDown, is that going to be worth it? Or is it going to be something like on Amazon Fire TV, where it's like an app?
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully we get more information, because the next company that's trying to purchase these rights is kind of similar. It's Facebook.
What?
Facebook. Facebook is trying to have WWE SmackDown weekly.
Like on Facebook Live? Would have to be, right?
I'm assuming, because the UFC, way back in the day, they used to do their prelims on Facebook Live every single time before they had a big show.
That makes sense.
It's a bit weird, though. It's weird to me that we might not see SmackDown on television anymore.
That's the weird thing. Like I feel better about the Amazon deal than the Facebook one. Just feels like totally freaking wrong.
You know, it feels like Amazon and Facebook is like a cheap way to go in terms of they might spend less money and reap the rewards still, though. If you think about it, I just don't know how many people are going to transition over.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to lose a lot of viewers that way, but they could get more.
I mean, they could get more, and the fact of the matter is WWE is a very visual company, and they were the first ones to start doing the whole streaming service with the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Now you have
for wrestling.
Now you have like the UFC and companies like that trying to do the exact same thing because they've seen the success. Because WWE got sick of being at the whim of TV stations, and they got sick of being at the whim of pay-per-view companies and having to split the share. Now you want to watch our pay-per-views? WWE Network. For a cheap price monthly, you get X amount of content, and you get pay-per-views and all that.
Unlimited content.
And quite frankly, if WWE Network existed when I was a teenager, dear God, I don't think I would have ever came out of the house, let alone fucking shower and eat.
I don't think it would have been possible to function.
Me and you used to beg WWE to come out with real documentaries, shows where they would have real insight on wrestling that wasn't just kayfabe.
Yeah.
And they never did it up until now. Now the floodgates are open and no topic is taboo anymore in that company.
Yeah.
And that's largely in part thanks to the internet.
Yeah.
So we don't know. It might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing. We'll see what happens in the future, right?
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm looking forward to the future of this.
They tried to reach out to WWE for a comment. The Hollywood Reporter did. We all know what WWE said. No comment. They didn't want to comment on anything, which is, it's typical of companies like that.
Government secrecy.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting time for WWE. Because while they might have switched all their pay-per-views, well, most of their pay-per-views, to the WWE Network, and it benefited them, we're going to see how that works out with pay-per-view.
Yeah. To exclusive, streaming services only for SmackDown. That's interesting. Very interesting.
It is. It's interesting, and I'm happy all this stuff is happening. It puts more eyeballs on the product, and it just shows that WWE is still a force to be reckoned with in the entertainment business, that all these companies are vying for their time.
Yeah, definitely.
So, speaking of which, we were talking about Raw and SmackDown.
Raw and SmackDown.
We're going straight to what? Results?
We'll go right to the results for Raw.
Yep.
Starting the week off.
Go ahead, Jeff. I'll let you start off with what the first match you want to talk about.
Well, so, it started out with a Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal promo. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Anyways, the next thing up was...
What?
Well, knock something over there. My bad, folks. The next thing up was Rollins versus Owens for the IC title.
Okay. Who won that?
Rollins. Obviously, Rollins come out on top. It was a good match. Second match of the... Well,
one of the things
first
I
match
saw,
of the night.
One of the things I saw, it was the first match of the night. It set the tone perfectly, in my opinion. One of the things I saw that was insane was that fucking Falcon Arrow on the apron. That looked brutal.
I don't want to take that from you.
All right, and then from that, we're gonna go straight to Money in the Bank qualifying matches because basically all these Raws and SmackDowns are all leading up to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Yep, exactly. Right now. So first up, we had Triple Threat: Bobby Roode, No Way Jose, and Baron Corbin.
No Way
For the
Jose.
Money in the Bank. No way, Jose. No way.
Man,
Jose.
I'm glad that guy has a job there and he's making his money, but that gimmick annoys me.
No way, Jose.
And it annoys me more that he's your favorite wrestler.
Oh my God! Don't even. Don't even.
Dear God.
If we don't know by now, if you've been listening to all this, I probably only said it maybe once, so you don't know Okada. Kazuchika Okada. It's my favorite wrestler right now.
You and your Japanese wrestling.
Sexually.
All right.
Anyways, moving on.
All right.
Bobby Roode won.
It was Bobby Roode, No Way Jose, and Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Roode wins. Great choice to put over, in my opinion. The obvious choice to put over. We move on. What was the next match?
The next match was a women's qualifier. It was Bayley, Alexa Bliss, and Mickie James. And this was kind of hard for me. I love Mickie James, old school ROH girl, first ROH employed person to make it to the WWE. Actually,
I remember when isn't that funny? Out of all the talent in Ring of Honor, Mickie James is the one to make it into WWE first before anybody.
Wasn't her name was Alexis Lurie too?
Was it Alexis Lurie?
Wasn't it right? It was.
Her name wasn't Mickie James, but I don't remember if it was Alexis Lurie. I think you're incredibly confused.
I might be wrong. I can't remember what her name was at the moment in ROH, but it was really close to Alexa Bliss. Is the only reason I don't know.
All I know is I'm hella happy for her success. It sucks that she had a huge run in WWE. It looks like she became stale. Not because of her fault. It's just the fact that she was constantly in these huge angles. They never gave her a break. She took off to TNA, Anthem, GFW, whatever the hell you want to call it these days.
TNA back then.
Nowadays it seems like her role is to advance talent.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad role to have. It's better than her not being there. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, she still has a lot of good years left. You need to give her a big program before they just write her off and make her kind of like a gatekeeper for the WWE Women's Division.
Good term there, gatekeeper.
Speaking of the women's division, before we go on to the last Money in the Bank qualifying match, so apparently Ronda Rousey did really well on these past house shows in her first one-on-one matches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were telling me about that.
I saw some highlights, and dear Lord, Ronda Rousey can wrestle. She's a very good athlete, and I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, of course she can wrestle. She's been an athlete her whole life, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of athletes that have come from other sports that sucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Plenty.
The only thing she still needs help on is the whole character. She needs help on developing her gimmick, whatever that might be. I know she's the MMA girl, but she needs help talking on the mic. She still seems scared of it.
Yeah, I mean, she really is. She's always just been herself, right?
Right.
So she shouldn't be afraid to be herself. That's all I can say. On the mic, she shouldn't be afraid to be herself. I mean, she's Ronda fucking Rousey, man.
She's always been herself, but now she has to be herself embellished by like 10, you know? And she's just getting used to it, but honestly, I wish her nothing but the best, and I hope she improves on that mic, because there is a girl that just challenged her to a match for the women's title, Nia Jax.
Yeah, for the Raw Women's Championship.
My problem with Nia Jax is, we already talked about the fact that her wrestling could use improvement in terms of impact.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna play the big girl, that smashes other girls, aka Awesome Kong, you need to start making it look more believable. And second, they did this angle where they were at some Hollywood premiere or some
NBC Universal
NBC
fundraiser thing, I think.
There you go. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Ronda Rousey was there. They were at some NBC Universal charity thing. I can't remember exactly for what it was.
Yeah.
And apparently WWE thought it was a good idea to have Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey do a semi-angle where Nia Jax challenges her to a match for her belt in the middle of this charity thing. First of all, good job on proving that you're the red-headed stepchild of the entertainment industry. Dear God, these girls are doing an angle in the middle of this charity event that has real cameras, that has real press there. It's not the place to do a WWE angle.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Especially, you do the angle, you face off with each other, and then all three of you, Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax, and I can't remember who else, and Charlotte. It's supposed to be a serious thing, and at the end of the confrontation, they all walk away together, smiling and happy and holding each other.
Holding hands, skipping away practically.
Good job at killing the angle, and good job making the WWE look B-League when you're doing angles at fucking charity events. Not everything is a WWE show. Sometimes we gotta bust out of that WWE bubble and understand this.
Yeah, those three there was a great presence for this charity event, but they really didn't need to do an angle. It's awkward. I could go on about this for like an hour, but
yeah,
let's move on, please.
It's freaking weird. Anyways, moving on, it's going to be more Money in the Bank qualifying matches for Raw, which is...
Yep. We've got the final one for the night. It was scheduled to be Bobby Lashley, Jinder Mahal, and Elias, but Roman Reigns speared Jinder Mahal through a freaking wall.
Man, hold on. Before you continue, that angle where Roman Reigns speared him through a wall,
yeah,
it couldn't have been more hokey. And it's
that
not the
wall.
fact. It's not the fact that he speared him through a wall. It's the fact that the wall looked fake, too fake. And it's the fact that after the wall went down, there was a hallway, a sign, and some doors. That kind of broke disbelief a little bit. Not to sound overly critical.
It was cool for that moment when he impacted, and then when he busted through the wall, and you saw the directions that pointed through the wall that he just went through. It was like, oh, wait a minute, it got me again.
It was the weirdest thing when the wall breaks. You see a sign that says cafeteria this way or whatever it's saying, and you see a door right behind it. Someone fucked up on that.
Yeah, that was the wrong placement for that breakaway wall there.
But what was the result of this?
Anyways, so Mahal's out, so it became Lashley, Owens, and Elias. So Kevin Owens is back on the card, getting his shot at the Money in the Bank. And it was an interesting match. Sami Zayn interfered.
Yeah, exactly.
Beating up Lashley. They're building up a card between those two right now.
Believe it or not, a lot of people are hating on Lashley. Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, I'm down for that.
It's not a lot of people. It's me saying that they're not using. I feel like they're not using him right now. They're kind of
not using who right.
Lashley. They kind of got him in some weird limbo thing.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking for a spot for him. And in my opinion, even though he might not be the best talker on the roster, in my opinion, he's still a main event guy.
He's okay on the mic. He developed a lot in TNA.
To me, he's a main event guy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's where it feels like he's in the weird spot right now. But anyways, Kevin Owens wins that, qualifies for the Money in the Bank.
I'm not mad at that.
In the Bank. So I'm not mad at that at all.
Kevin Owens is a fucking savage in that ring. Kevin Owens has been a savage for a lot of fucking years.
This is building up to be a really good Money in the Bank this year. I think so far.
We're gonna watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was Raw.
That was Raw.
That was Monday Night Raw.
So
The
SmackDown.
biggest show on Monday nights.
The show you pay 3 times more for.
Monday Night Raw. The show that sells out arenas week after week. And New Japan couldn't... Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
All in.
I don't want to
all
sound
in.
like a hater. I don't want to sound like a hater. I was about to say...
All in.
All in, huh? So 10,000 seat arena.
We said that last
in under 30 minutes, right?
We're going to the G1 special. Remember that. We bought some of those tickets.
WWE sells out 10,000 every week. Twice a week.
Pshaw.
Hey, WWE, biggest company on the planet. So, we're going to move on to the next. We went from the biggest show in professional wrestling on the planet, WWE Raw, to the second biggest show in professional wrestling on the planet, WWE SmackDown.
To the show that can't find a channel yet.
To the show that never ends. Come inside, come inside.
Anyways.
So, they had some Money in the Bank qualifying matches on there also.
I mean, that's what we got going on right now. So, we'll just start off with the big thing for the night. That we've got down here.
Wait, we'll get to the big thing in a bit. Let's start off at the
we'll
bottoms.
Well, this is kind of a big one here, anyway.
It is a big one, but hey, bud. Let's start off at the bottom and work our way up.
Work our way up to the top.
We're not a backyard wrestling podcast.
Well, all I saw was what was advertised first. Anyways, this is still kind of a big deal.
So let's stop acting like backyard wrestling.
This is a big deal here. They had a tag team match to have qualifiers for the men's Money in the Bank match. Between the New Day and the Bar, which at first I was like, this isn't for Money in the Bank qualifying, is it? And you were like, no, it is. And I'm like, no, it's not. And as it went on and we heard a little bit more of explaining from the commentary, it was qualifier for the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it was like a tag team qualifier, and whichever team won, they got to choose which member of the team moves on to the Money in the Bank. So who was it and who won?
The New Day won. I don't know who they're gonna pick. It was a strange idea for qualifiers for the Money in the Bank, but it worked. So I'm really interested in seeing who New Day will pick to be in the Money in the Bank. I hope it's Big E.
That's cool. Didn't Asuka come out and something happen? Before we continue on with the Money in the Bank qualifying matches, I know something happened with Asuka. I'm a big fan of Asuka. What happened, Jeff?
This was a little bit later in the card, so we were having a royal celebration.
Hold on a minute. What the fuck? A royal celebration?
Yeah, man. Carmella. You know, everybody loves Carmella, right? Carmella's a great women's champion.
And that celebration shit, is that because of the whole royal wedding? That's
WWE's
WWE's take on the royal wedding.
They were in the UK, and I'm assuming that had to have been what this was.
I don't know. The last wedding I remember is Kane looking satanic as fuck as he's tombstone pile driving a priest.
And
that's the
Snitsky
last wedding I
yelling,
remember.
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't.
I remember that wedding. You know what other wedding I remember? Billy and Chuck.
Billy and
about to
Chuck.
get married with each other.
Billy and Chuck. But that's a different podcast.
Hey, not only that, but you know what's funny about that Billy and Chuck wedding thing? It seems like everybody bought it. It was like Entertainment Tonight. Entertainment Tonight was covering it. Access Hollywood, Inside Edition. It was like every company under the sun. Morning shows with all the chicks. They were all talking about it. And at the end of the whole thing, SmackDown comes. Billy and Chuck are about to have the first gay marriage on national television. Chuck grabs the mic and says, "Wait a minute. You guys know we're not gay, right?" Holy shit. Talk about the WWE being great at working everybody. That Billy and Chuck marriage, it worked Hollywood. They worked all of Hollywood, and they all bought it hook, line, and sinker. And you know who I give credit to? Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I feel like they screwed up. I feel like they could have actually had them get married, let it go for a little while longer, could have done revolutionary things for mankind itself. We could have been years ahead of our time as far as acceptance of gay and lesbian and whatnot. But, you know, that's a different podcast for me, man. Let's get back to the SmackDown frickin' results.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff. that was wacky.
And we're back at the Tupelo, Mississippi.
Because it feels like we're back in the backyard when you say things like that. Anyways, what happened with Asuka?
Asuka is going to challenge Carmella for the Women's Championship on SmackDown, which I hope will make all of these horrible, horrible things that I wanted to talk about on the podcast, but we don't have enough time to, about how they made the SmackDown Women's title look like a piece of crap for the last month and a half.
Why do you think that?
So Charlotte beats Asuka's streak.
That's
at
I
WrestleMania.
see nothing wrong with that.
Good match. I was okay with that. The next night, Charlotte pretends to get beat up. Holy crap, what's going on next door? I guess there's a fight going down.
No, I'm sorry.
If that came up.
I'm sorry. There was a notification on my phone, and
No, you don't have
I
to
forgot to
apologize.
turn my phone off. Yes,
You
I do, Jeff. I do have to apologize because, unlike you, I try to be professional.
We're not going to point out the unprofessionalism of the fact that my phone was on silent. Anyways.
Wow.
Anyways. So the next night, or the next SmackDown after WrestleMania, Charlotte gets beat up by the Iconic Duo. Fakely. Excuse me. Hold on.
Dear
Hold on.
God.
Let me just say this. If I don't get the Iconic Duo, they're not for me. They're not for me. I know. Okay?
That's fine that they're not for you, but why do you have to use words and describe things as fakely? Was that really fucking necessary?
Because it looked like crap. It
According
was
to
not
who?
believable. Just me. This is just purely my opinion. Send your hate mail to blah 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 at gmail.com. It was not believable. Not believable at all. And then Carmella comes out, cashes in the Money in the Bank, and unbelievably beats Charlotte, and now she's champion. And then Carmella's not a good champion. She's not a good role model right now. Like, Carmella could get a lot better with time. I'm not going to knock her for that. But beating Charlotte after Charlotte beats Asuka is just terrible. And hopefully Asuka will make her tap, and Asuka will be champion like she should be, and the title can go back to getting some credibility again. That's just the way I feel about it. It's just my opinion.
I agree. Asuka and Charlotte should be the ones carrying this division, which
Yes.
they are. And I don't really dig Carmella that much.
No.
But we'll see where all this ends up. I mean, what else can you do, right?
Carmella's okay on the mic. She's not afraid. You know, like she could be a good champion. She is the champion right now. I feel like some more time should have been taken, but whatever. Moving on here.
Moving on to the next Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Women's qualifier.
Yep.
We had Becky Lynch.
Sticking with the women.
Yep. We had Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, another triple threat qualifier.
Who won?
Becky Lynch comes out on top.
I love that.
Yeah, I love Becky. Becky is one of my favorites.
Becky is one of the ones that started to make us take women's pro wrestling seriously. Besides, obviously, Trish and Victoria.
Years ago
at Survivor Series in some sort of street fight.
Hardcore match. The chairs and...
Where they're hitting each other like men. It was badass. Those girls really put it out there, you know? And I feel like these women get inspired by things like that.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely are. I'm very glad Becky's going to be in the...
So continuing with the Money in the Bank stuff, AJ Styles and Nakamura had a Money in the Bank match, but it wasn't a Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Yeah, obviously.
It was whoever won this match was going to choose the stipulation at the pay-per-view.
For their WWE Championship match.
So who won this match?
Nakamura won.
Yep.
Pretty good. Really good match, too.
Really good match.
Really good match.
It was ridiculous.
Really hard-hitting.
Hard hitting. It felt like a pay-per-view match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly.
It had the right amount of time on TV. It had the right amount of time, the right amount of creativity in it, and it looked like those guys were trying. Sometimes you can feel when they're trying, and it looked like they were trying. It was a great match. It makes you wonder why SmackDown can't get picked up as easily as Raw.
Exactly.
Because for the longest time, including recently, it feels like SmackDown is the A show, but Raw gets more promotion. So it's kind of fucked up sometimes how all the guys that are trying so hard on SmackDown don't get the credit the way the Raw people do, even though SmackDown a lot of times is the better show. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, go on. Jeff is pointing and being unprofessional again because he's unprepared.
I'm just drunk, folks. Anyways.
Okay, what I was going to say, Jeff, was we're nearing the 30-minute mark, so we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back and talk about some topics. We're also going to hit New Japan Pro Wrestling, which had their what?
Best of Super Juniors tournament started.
We sure as hell are going to hit that. That's always interesting. I remember Super Juniors like fucking Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Jericho. Tiger Mask. And my favorite, Dynamite Kid. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Right after this?
Right after this. It's Have Fun on the Indies.
Right. Do we even have sponsors and ads?
Jeff, we don't have sponsors because you can't stop drinking and we're unprofessional.
No way,
Jose.
No
way, Jose. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, something crazy just happened backstage right now. Jeff just admitted that No Way Jose is one of his favorite wrestlers. Hella weird.
I guess this is going to be a running gag we're going to do.
I don't know about a running gag, but you like No Way Jose.
He said No Way Jose, but I remember telling him in the back it was Kazuchika Okada.
Hey, and why do you like No Way Jose when you're racist?
Oh, I farted. I
okay,
lied.
Jeff, really? See
No
what I'm
Way
saying?
Jose.
Now you're going too far. This is not
I
toilet
like
humor
No
time.
Way Jose when he's dressed like Kazuchika Okada and is blonde and from Japan.
Okay, moving on, because that was completely unprofessional.
Vince McMahon loves farts. He'll sponsor us.
Okay, well, moving on.
Really important
Guess what,
news.
Jeff?
Really important news.
Super
right?
important news.
Super important. Devastating news we have to share with you.
So I got to tell you,
The-
I'm a little sad.
I'm crying right now.
I'm depressed. I don't know if I need some Abilify
So
or
are you-
I need psychological help.
Zola.
I don't know how much I can do this anymore, but
Keep the razor blades away from
Randy
you,
Orton got hurt.
folks.
That's not
Good.
funny, Jeff.
Good.
He had a medial meniscus tear in his left knee, and he had to undergo surgery. The good news is it was successful surgery, and they don't know when he's going to be back. The rumor is he might be back somewhere around August.
Just in time for SummerSlam. Huh?
Hey, you want to know about a neat little tidbit about Randy Orton? I swear to God, back in like 2004, 2005, around that era, he was wearing Kenta Kobashi trunks.
That's a nugget of joy for you folks.
Dude, he was wearing Kenta Kobashi trunks. The
Yeah.
trunks looked identical
Yeah.
to Kenta Kobashi.
Had the same design going down the side. The only difference was that it said Orton on his ass.
Crazy, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
My thing is, if the man's watching Kenta Kobashi, dear Lord, no wonder he's one of the best in the world. Kenny Omega who?
No. No comment on this.
No comment or No Way
Watching
Jose, your favorite
Kobashi.
wrestler?
No, okay, yeah. No Way Jose on this Randy Orton watching Kobashi greatest, yeah. But,
Anyways.
Randy.
Randy Orton put out a statement, and this is what he said. I've known I needed the surgery since late last year,
Wow.
but I've been waiting for the right time to get my knee cleaned out. Right now was the right time. So,
Wow.
this goes to show you, man, these guys don't fuck around. Randy Orton's apparently been having knee issues for a year.
For a year.
Wrestling a full schedule, pay-per-views, everything. Savage.
I gotta give him a clap for that.
Yeah, you got to give the man a little bit of props.
That's pretty badass of you there, Randy.
As douchey as some of his past actions have been, as cocky as he seems, you got to give him credit.
I got it. Cheers to Randall Keith Orton for that one, man.
Randall Keith Orton, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, what I was gonna get at is, you know what's something funny? Kurt Angle's. Everybody chants you suck at Kurt Angle. Isn't that weird? You don't think?
It's
I know it's supposed to be endearing and shit like that, but at one
him-
point, like everything he does, it's you suck.
but
You suck.
it's them cheering it at his opponent that they suck. That's how they tried to change it.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
So that's how.
Yeah. They're saying you suck to his opponent. No, they're still chanting you suck to Kurt Angle like they always did when they first started doing it.
So
I
Kurt Angle
agree
has
with you.
Kurt Angle has like a crazy match. He's bleeding everywhere.
And
He's just poured his heart out,
Uh-huh.
and as he's walking down the aisle, everybody's pointing fingers, yelling, "You suck!"
jumping over the rail to point at his opponent.
And-
No one can see quotation fingers.
And Kurt Angle's supposed to look up at the crowd and be appreciative.
Yeah, I agree with you on
God
this
damn,
one.
pro wrestling fans these days sometimes are fucking spoiled.
It's not okay. I remember that point where when he was in the ECW revival and they took those two little notes out of his song so that people couldn't chant you suck.
Oh, dear God. I do remember that. And you see, it's the fans being so fucking... not being able to make up their mind about anything. It's the fans always wanting instant gratification that causes shit like the John Cena, Nikki Bella shit to start happening.
Oh, God.
The WWE, for the second time, because the first time we talked about it earlier with Chuck and Billy, how
Yeah.
they worked all of Hollywood, for the second time, they fucking worked all of Hollywood again. I get up to go and slave away at work in the morning. I get up, I have my breakfast, I'm watching television, I turn on the TV, whatever's on, the news or whatever. Nikki Bella's on fucking, I don't know, ABC News in the morning. You know, Good Morning America. John Cena's on the CBS morning show. They're on NBC morning show. They're running around all over the place talking about we're broken up. And now,
Aw.
so this whole time, they made this huge spiel about that they're breaking up. John Cena doesn't want kids. He doesn't want the responsibility. And everybody's wondering, is it a work? Is it not a work? Me and you are sitting here with fucking signs, big old red fingers pointing at us, yelling, it's a fucking work.
It's a work.
Nobody believes us, and now all of a sudden, it's very obvious it's a work when John Cena comes out on one of those nationally syndicated TV shows and talks about, I want to have her kids and I want to get back together. And all of this happens, this whole drama, this whole spiel happens a couple weeks before the season debut of the new Total Divas.
Total Divas.
How fucking coincidental is that?
I blame all of you people that are listening, everyone that's listening. Why are you not watching Total Divas? Why are they not getting enough ratings that I have to see this on every magazine from People to Us Weekly about, ooh, they broke up. It's on the cover in the top corner. They broke up. Oh, I don't care.
I understand the WWE being entrepreneurial and trying to make movies and having reality TV shows.
And football leagues.
And yeah, and the XFL's coming back, and I understand it, and I don't hate it, but boy, I do hate that Total Diva shit. It reminds me of Jersey Shore. It reminds me of all these Bad Girls Club. It reminds me of all that dumb shit.
I'll admit, I watched the first part of the first season.
I got you to watch part of the first season. I remember that.
Well, and I mean, got the significant other interested in it too, and you admitted to watching it too. First season was okay, I guess. I haven't watched anything since then, honestly. So I guess I can't be a terrible judge of this, but I lost interest. I've not been watching it. Neither of you, and that's why they had to troll us all with their breakup.
No, you see, that's where you're wrong. What do you mean, neither did you? The fans fucking watched it. There's a reason why it's been constantly renewed on national television. This season coming up, it's supposed to be a big deal. For some reason.
Exactly. Because John and Nikki almost broke up, and they
recorded
all of it live.
You know why? It's because this show is meant to attract women. I swear, I'm not being sexist.
Oh, well.
But it's obvious WWE's trying to cater to women in that aspect.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I was interested in the first season too. But I mean...
And I remember...
I lost interest.
I remember there was a lot of people in the first season, Paige was in it.
Everybody.
And it's sad because I wonder if Paige wanted to do it. Because at the beginning of that season, it looked like she didn't want to. And then she got a little comfortable with being in that role, but it looks like she didn't want to. And it's sad because Paige went from the Total Divas show to doing a lot of things in WWE, winning championships. She got injured. Then some scumbags, hacked her shit, put all her porn videos.
She got injured.
It was before she got injured?
And her tumultuous relationship.
Well, be that as it may, some scumbag hacked her shit. Put all her naked shit out there. Now she got injured. She doesn't have a wrestling career in the WWE anymore. It's kind of fucked up because she was a legitimate wrestler who started from the fucking bottom of the Indies somewhere in Europe all the way to the United States.
That's not a good place to start from.
And you know what? A lot of people are making fun of her. They're saying things like, oh, now she looks crazy. She looks irrational. Her makeup looks like shit. She gained weight. Excuse me?
Whoa, that's messed up.
Dude, who the fuck are you people to talk shit?
I just said she sounded like she was drunk the first time I heard her talk.
It doesn't matter. Who the fuck are you people to talk shit about her? She did a lot in her career, and it's goddamn unfortunate that she got fucking injured and can't wrestle anymore, which is obviously what she liked. Now, what is she? She likes general manager?
She's general manager of SmackDown.
Exactly, and I'm happy. And I hope she keeps being part of the WWE because wrestling has been her whole fucking life. And I hope she does well, even though whatever demons she has, I hope she conquers them and keeps making money in the WWE because she deserves it, dude. She was one of the ones that may have been a little crazy, but she legitimately liked wrestling, and she legitimately tried hard and was actually good at it.
It's sad when anybody's career gets cut short at such a young age.
Exactly. Look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is not young, but Daniel Bryan came into the WWE.
Thank God he can come back.
And got injured. And was gone for a while, and the WWE doctor refused to clear him for, good reason.
2 years, I believe?
Yeah, and now he's back. And here's the crazy part. Now he's back, and it's fucking great the way they're pushing him. They're pushing him as if it's his first time in the WWE again. Starting from the bottom all the way to the top. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of all that stuff, we got to move on from the WWE talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're going to move on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have a tournament recently. They've had a tournament going on, which is what, Jeff?
The Best of Super Juniors Tournament 25. As of today's recording, we have day 2 results. I'm going to start with day 1. It was the A block. I'm just going to run through the results right here. We're a little short on time. So I'm just going to run through the results real quick. Day one, we've got Ospreay versus Bone Soldier Ishimori.
Ooh, I like Ospreay.
I mean, can you not? He's freaking exciting.
He's fucking badass.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I bash on spotty wrestling all the time, and he's a little bit spotty.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah.
It's a different style.
It's kind of incredible. It's like watching a video game sometimes.
Yep.
Anyways, he went down. He lost.
Wow.
He lost to Bone Soldier Ishimori. Ishimori has just arrived at New Japan from Noah, from Impact as well. He's the newest member of the Bullet Club. He's the Bone Soldier.
I disagree. They should have pushed Ospreay on this one.
Ospreay is the IWGP Junior Champion right now in the Best of Super Juniors tournament. I actually want to see the champion win one of these tournaments, like the Best of Super Juniors.
That would be insane. Like he
or
conquered
the G1.
everything.
Yeah, like he wins. Like who's gonna face? Just to jump ahead, who's gonna face Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom if Kazuchika Okada wins the G1 special or the G1 Climax this year? Like really, like who's gonna face Will Ospreay if he wins the Best of Super Juniors tournament? Like I want to see that monkey wrench of a booking right there.
It'd make things interesting.
I'd like to see how they handle that. But we're gonna move on. Ishimori took that win right there for A Block Day one. Next we got Yo from Roppongi 3K and Bushi. Wow, I gotta say, I just watched the highlights. I haven't watched the whole shows yet.
Right.
But I've seen some people talking about Yo on Instagram. Made me watch the highlights. Yo did some impressive things in that match on his own there.
Really?
Yeah, really. He's right now he's a tag team guy, but I see like the possibility of him leading the juniors division soon in the future for New Japan. Really impressive stuff he did. But he took Bushi,
right?
So he took a win. Next we got Flip Gordon and ACH.
Ooh, Flip Gordon's good.
Yeah, Flip Gordon is really good. I mean, he's still a little green, but he's really entertaining to watch. He did lose to ACH though.
Damn it! All the guys that I've been used to watching and that I'm accustomed to starting to follow are losing in this tournament.
Are losing. This is just night one though. There's plenty of nights ahead. Next that we have here is Tiger Mask versus Kinemura.
Okay.
Kinemura, I'm a fan of Kinemura. He's an old school Noah guy with Suzuki Gun. I was hoping he'd win this.
Yeah.
Tiger Mask took it night one.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
So it's Tiger Mask, you know. He's a icon. The final match I'm going to cover here for night one was Hiromu Takahashi, my favorite for the Super Juniors tournament, my favorite junior in the junior division for New Japan right now, Los Ingobernables, Hiromu Takahashi. Let's go, Daryl.
Okay.
Hiromu versus Marty Scurll.
Ooh, I like Marty Scurll. I like the Penguin.
And you know I'm a Bullet Club guy, but I was taking the LIJ guy over him.
Right.
And Hiromu took it night one.
Okay.
Hiromu beat Marty Scurll. So, we're going to move on to day two, night two, B block. I'm just going to go real quick through this one. We had Dragon Lee versus Sho. Yo's tag partner, Roppongi 3K. Dragon Lee took that one.
Ooh.
Dragon Lee's really cool. He's really freaking entertaining, man. Some amazing dives I've seen this guy do in person. Anyways, next up was Taguchi versus Desperado. Desperado takes that one. Another one for Suzuki Gun. Then we have Kushida versus Chris Sabin.
Fucking Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin.
We've been watching Chris Sabin for almost over a decade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen Chris Sabin locally at a local indie show before as well.
I've seen Chris Sabin all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Seen Sabin for years. I'm glad to say that he beat Kushida in this match. So that's pretty impressive. Kushida is the future of the juniors division.
I mean, that's good, but I really doubt Chris Sabin wins this tournament.
No, I don't think he will. He'll get a good showing, but if he wins, I'll eat my words. I'll eat this beer can in front of me.
You think Chris Sabin? Ever makes it into the WWE?
Ooh.
Or is it going to go the Christopher Daniels route, where they never really get the credit they deserve, even though they're super talented and have been in it for such a very long time?
I'm going to be completely honest. I like Sabin, but I'm not like a huge fan, and I've not followed him like religiously or anything like that. He's a really good talent. I mean, he might make it to WWE, but he's going to be like 205 Live status. I mean, that's what he is. He's in the Best of Super Junior tournament. He could be in the Cruiserweight division in the WWE, but it's not going to be anything like drastic or career change or anything like that.
I understand what you mean.
That's really how I feel about Sabin. Sabin's a cool guy, great fucking wrestler.
And I feel bad.
Tag wrestler.
I feel bad for people like Sabin and Christopher Daniels because
I feel bad for them. Yes.
For example, Christopher Daniels, what did he do to not get hired in any of these giant companies? He was in TNA for a while. He did the Curryman gimmick. He did the normal Christopher Daniels gimmick. And no matter what he does, it seems like he just can't break that ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a much older guy than Saban is, though. I mean, I see there's a chance for Saban, but it's not. I mean, he's not going to main event WrestleMania or anything like that.
I hear you.
But that's where we're at for the first 2 days and nights of New Japan. I actually typoed a little bit. Skrull and Hiromu was day 2. Excuse me.
You know,
my notes are a little jumbled.
That's fine. That. One of these days, ladies and gentlemen, when we're gonna get here soon, in a couple months, maybe 2 months, a month and a half, we're gonna get a new logo.
Mm-hmm.
When we get a new logo, we're gonna open up our Instagram. Mm-hmm. Right now, you can catch us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube at Fun OTI. But here, when we get this new logo, we're going to open up an Instagram. And when we open up our Instagram, I'm going to take a picture of Jeff's notes. And we're going to compare Jeff's notes to my notes. Because Jeff's notes look like the fucking third grader wrote them, Jeff.
Jeff writes handwritten, just, shorthand.
Jeff writes like it's 1993 and we were children.
1993. Jeez, man.
1993?
I was in second grade then.
I think Bret Hart was in the WWE in 1993. I love that guy.
Of course he was. It was 1993.
Anyways, here's something I noticed about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I love the way they do these tournaments, right? I really enjoy these tournaments. It reminds me of legitimate sports like wrestling, like amateur wrestling and mixed martial arts, how they have these tournaments. It's awesome. However, I feel like sometimes they oversaturate themselves with tournament after tournament after tournament.
There's a lot of tournaments.
And here's the thing. There's companies like Ryzen in MMA and Pride back in the day. They would have tournaments also, but one tournament would be spread out throughout the year. These guys have like tournament after tournament after tournament, and it's like the first part of the tournament is like 3 days back to back to back. Each show is like 4 hours.
I'm pretty sure the Best of Super Juniors leads right into the G1 Climax tournament. So
that's what I'm saying. It almost feels like too much.
It's like from May. We're in May right now, like third week of May, through like almost the end of August. There's going to be a New Japan tournament going on.
That's what I'm saying, man. I feel like overwhelmed sometimes. I mean,
there's a lot. I missed a lot last year because there's just so much every day.
And people say the WWE is oversaturated, and it is. There's a lot of WWE shows on television, but I almost find it easier to keep up with WWE than I do New Japan sometimes.
God. I admit that. I admit that, too. I totally admit that, too. It is easier to know exactly what's going on in WWE than it is when New Japan's got day 13 of a tournament.
Yeah. When it's like 72 hours, and out of those 72 hours, it's like fucking 16 to 20 hours of professional wrestling. Like, holy fuck.
Well, right now, New Japan's going to do this Best of Super Junior tournament almost every day for the next like month. There might be a couple of days off, but there's going to be like A block, B block, A block, B block, and there's going to be tag matches from these people in these tournaments in between and everything. Like it's going to be stacked for days now.
They obviously know what they're doing. They're selling out arenas over in Japan. They're the most popular Japanese company, but that was just my little gripe. I mean, I'm just expressing my opinion, but I feel it's insane. The schedule of this thing is insane sometimes.
I do agree.
But guess what? Summer's coming along, right?
Yep.
Summer's coming along, and you know what I like about summer, Jeff? I love the fact that in summer, pro wrestling shoots up some fucking steroids, and all these shows get amped up. Mm-hmm. WWE has SummerSlam. New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming to the States, to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And
you smell that?
Oh, you know what I smell?
Do you smell that?
I smell iron.
Yeah, it smells like...
Smells like
blood.
Smells like blood. You know why, Jeff?
Why?
Because it's the season of death matches.
It's death match season,
It's
folks.
summer again. It's death match season. And CZW is having the Tournament of Death in about a month in New Jersey.
Speaking of tournaments. CZW Tournament of Death.
They're going to have it in New Jersey, right? So here, I went to pwinsider.com, and Mike Johnson has this little thing on it. Watch. Combat Zone Wrestling presents Tournament of Death on Saturday, June 9th in New Jersey. Right? The show, and here's the part that you know you're going to get your money's worth. And if I didn't work so many hours a week and still be broke, I would most definitely try to get a plane ticket to go watch this. Here's the kicker.
I don't know about that. But...
The show is outdoors with no restrictions. You know what that means?
Well, that means time to party.
That means we're not indoors. We can do anything. Fire, explosions. They probably won't have explosions, but you can do fire. You can do light tubes. You can basically do anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane. They do have some matches announced thus far. First match they have announced, a Fangs Bring the Weapons match between the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, and Toby Klein.
Toby Klein.
Yeah. Fans Bring the Weapons matches. I know ECW back in the day did a couple of those, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or who was it that did it?
Well, CCW does it often.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
But I know ECW did at least once.
You know,
one or two.
I understand wanting the fan interaction, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a real fan of those matches. The fans sometimes bring stupid fucking shit to the ring.
That's how the Weed Whacker got involved in death matches.
Okay,
man.
but the Weed Whacker, that's fine, but the Weed Whacker at least wasn't insulting like a fucking cactus or a rat trap or fucking Legos.
Well, what's the worst? I saw the Vice documentary about Tournament of Death from last year or the year before. What was the worst thing a fan tried to bring? And DJ Hyde said, a gun.
Wow.
I mean, that's a little far, guys.
Jesus
I get
Christ.
it, but come on. Do you understand professional wrestling, my friend?
It's funny because death matches, I understand why people look at them as it's disgusting, right? And people look at death matches sometimes it doesn't take skill. And I feel like death matches are awesome. But I feel like that style of wrestling could surely be polished.
Death matches.
And once someone polishes deathmatch wrestling up, I feel it'll be big again, the way it used to be back in like when ECW. Because do you remember that when ECW died, the couple years after that, it was just all these shows, XPW, CZW, all these companies were doing death matches. Even a company called 3PW, who never did death matches, I think did a no rope barbed wire with like Sabu or some shit like that. But anyways, so we have that match, and then the other match announced, which this one I'm looking forward to, Light Tube Death Match. Former CZW World Heavyweight Champion and Tournament of Death winner, Ricky Shane Page versus the UK's Drew Parker. It should be a good match just for the simple fact that you can't really fuck up light tubes too bad.
No.
Tremont and Supreme was a bit weird with the light tubes when they had that match, but, I mean, Supreme didn't look like he was in the kind of shape to be in the ring to begin with.
No, and we've spoken about that match before, folks.
They're gonna have
some. Find it.
They're gonna have some IWA Mid South guys there.
Got to.
You know, that's not bad. But starting next week, we'll keep you updated on some of these death matches because I know you were looking at something. And who else is coming up?
GCW's Tournament of Survival, is just around the corner as well. The only information I have about it right now is it's on June 2nd. What day was Tournament of Death?
Tournament
of Death is
June 9th. So they're like a week apart.
So yeah, about a week apart.
Damn.
I mean, they've been doing this for a few years, back to back like that.
And GCW isn't Zandig there? And Zandig used to be like a big event player in CZW.
It's Zandig's Tournament of Survival. I don't think he really works GCW like year round or anything. I know like Tremont and a lot of.
So he's
CZW
not part of the
guys
office.
Do. No. He's not like the boss or anything like that. No, it's just he sponsors the Tournament of Survival pretty much. I guess you showed me the first one, so I've watched them since then. So I'm a fan of death matches. I like to watch the crazy things these guys try to put each other through. And what other kind of wacky weapon we're going to try to see used this year, from like a barbed wire trampoline spider web to Legos last year with Madman Pondo in the Tournament of Death.
It's just fun to see freak show matches sometimes.
It is, and these are definitely freak show matches.
And the funny part is, if there's a promoter out there that can polish this stuff up, which it seems like GCW is trying to do, if there's a promoter that can polish up the deathmatch genre, they're going to be making some money, because it just needs polishing up. It's stuck in the old school ways still, where sometimes it looks backyardish, and sometimes it looks garbagey.
It's really just throw them into this and hit them with that, and there's no psychology, and there's really no wrestling to it, to be completely honest.
And you can get creative with that kind of shit.
We've seen it before. Last week's match to watch.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, with all this talk about death and tournaments, and me having to go cry because Randy Orton's injured.
I know. Listen to all the blood we're about to spew. All right?
We'll see you next week. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
Have fun on the Indies.
Have fun on the Indies.
Drink a lot of beer for us, please.
I've already drank a bunch.